How much did I charge? Oh yeah, $10. You got change for a 20?
I only got $6.12.
Oh, well, that's okay. Here, just give me the $6, and then I'll give you the 20.
Okay.
Now, give me the pubes, and I'll give you back $2.
Right.
Now, give me the 12 cents, and I'll give you the rest of your change back. And then give me the 20, and I'll give you the pubes.
Sweet. God damn.
Okay. Now I got some more videos that I got to react to about AEW All Out, but we might as well get started with this one first. So we're going to go ahead and get to CJAX review on Wrestlepaloser. I mean, whatever. y'all get the point. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and react to this video. So let's go ahead and get started with this. I can't wait to hear this.
You take us my libation here. Oh, I love you. I respect you. I'm proud of you. I need you. And you know what else I needed? I needed a good show because Wrestlepalooza was garbage. Okay, every single thing about this show was complete and utter trash. We can try and skate around it all we want. Oh, this was good. AJ Lee hit the Black Widow, with Codarius Rodington. Stop. The show was garbage. If you are actually sitting there with a straight face, because this is not a $10 Peacock show anymore. This is a $30+ a month investment in garbage. That is what this is. We got 5 matches on a $30 show? Are you out of your mind? Nothing happened tonight. John Cena's retirement tour is abysmal. Triple H has ruined it. Not The Rock, not TKO, not this person, that person. It is Triple H and the creative team. They have ruined this retirement run. John Cena has 5 or 6 dates left, and you're wasting his time getting F5 5 times. Why? So he can get his get back at Crown Jewel. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares if John Cena gets his get back after getting F5 5 times. Come on, man. Stop this nonsense. And the funny thing is Triple Fred, the gamer. We're gonna give you bad booking, so you ready for garbage, because that's what we got. Triple H talked about before the show, talking about there's gonna be some surprises. There's gonna be some surprises. There's gonna be so many surprises. You guys are gonna be ready for how many surprises there are. What was the surprise here? I'm gonna take another sip of the libations. What were the surprises? Where were they? Where were they? Where were they? We got meaningless and boring matches. The Usos and LeBron James Jr.? Are you kidding me? That's a Raw match. If you've watched Raw the last month, you've already seen how this ends. It's the same thing 50 times. None of this is entertaining. Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky. Let me guess, was it the greatest women's wrestling match of all time? That's what everybody said. It's not that good.
I mean, based off the highlights, I thought it was good.
I was bored out of my mind watching that match. Come on. Rhea and Io at Evolution was better than that. Mariah May and Toni Storm Toni Storm and Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné. They had a way better match than what we just saw.
Well, both matches were 5 stars.
Are you kidding me? And you're talking about some Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer? The CM Punk and AJ Lee's mixed tag match with Rollins and Becky Lynch, that match was boring and dragged on way too long. What about that match was special? It had a couple cool moments. Yes, it did. It had some really cool spots. Other than that, what are we talking about here, man? This is an embarrassment. And to top it all off, Codarius Rodington shows up in the main event and beats Drew McIntyre because the ref stops Drew McIntyre from doing a move that's been legal for 3 decades in wrestling. This show was awful. You cannot make nothing on this show made sense. Literally nothing. We're going to break it down, but nothing made any sense. Obviously, most of it was boring, and it wasn't worth my time or anybody's money. If you haven't brought in the Wrestlepalooza membership, do not buy it. Do not buy an ESPN Premium. Do not buy it. It's a waste of your time. If you're buying it only for wrestling, do not buy it. It's a waste of your money. It's a waste of your time. Let's go ahead and break down this absolute disaster that was Wrestlepalooza. This show sucked. We're going to talk about it. Let's get into it. This was a disaster. Now, after Triple H basically, you know what I'm saying, glazing the product of WWE and doing all that nonsense for approximately like 15 plus minutes and them talking about ESPN and how great WWE is and how special this is and all this other nonsense, after we got through all of that, we finally got to the opening match, which was Jonathan Cena versus Brock Lesnar. This match was garbage. Anybody who's actually thinking logically while watching this match will quickly realize that, number one, the ending of this match doesn't make any sense. There was clearly no story or build heading into this match, so the result of this match was not earned, therefore it carries absolutely no weight, and it wasn't the shocking moment that they wanted it to be because nobody cared. An actual epic conclusion to this feud that wasn't even there. At least you could have added a stipulation to this match. Maybe made it Extreme Rules or no holds barred or something to, maybe, when Brock Lesnar says, hey, I'm going to draw some blood from you, Cena. I'm coming for blood tomorrow. Maybe actually have Brock Lesnar draw some blood or have some type of, intricacy inside of the story. Tell a story in the match if you weren't going to tell one leading up to it. But we got nothing. We got great entrances and intros, yes, okay? John Cena comes out with a bunch of kids. He's wearing like the blue and yellow kind of Indiana Pacers colors. I thought that colorway was pretty sick, okay? Brock Lesnar comes out, is absolutely ripped and jacked still, of course, and then the match starts. It was 5 minutes, and it was just a boring finisher fest. John Cena hits 3 AAs, then Brock Lesnar kicks out of the third AA, gets up after Cena tries to go for a 5-knuckle shuffle, then F5 Cena 5 or 6 times and pins him, and that's it. That's literally it. Jonathan Cena is the greatest of all time in my personal opinion. And you mean to tell me that the best possible way to have this dude spending one of his final 6 times in a WWE ring was on Monday Night Raw cutting a promo saying, I'm going to come out and fight the beast at Wrestlepaloser. And then at Wrestlepalooza get F5'd 6 times and get left in the middle of the ring. That is how they just spent the 7th and 6th, I guess that's the 7th and 6th to last appearance of John Cena on his retirement run. Are you kidding me? If you think that is the best possible way to end this and have this feud, you're being delusional. There's no other way around it at this point. Brock Lesnar hasn't wrestled in 2 years, and the last time he did, he lost to Cody Rhodes off of a few crossroads and a Cody cutter? John Cena just took 5 crossroads at SummerSlam and multiple Cody cutters, disaster kicks, multiple moves on the outside, inside, taking moves from weapons, etc., and still kicked out of all of that until the very end of that match versus Cody Rhodes, who was the top champion in the company. You get what I'm saying? And he kicked out of all that. But Brock Lesnar comes back after however many years, 2 years, and it's 5 F5s and Cena's pinned. That makes no sense. And the fact that you couple this with there being no story and no build to this match, to this moment, to this storyline, they're just relying off of name power and star power. It shows you how lazy and uncreative that WWE and Triple H have become. They're giving you nothing, charging you more money, but giving you less. That is what they're doing, man. Why would anybody want to see John Cena get F5 18 billion times and get pinned on his 5th to last day in the company? Who was entertained by this? Can someone please show me who was entertained by this, man? This is embarrassing. This match sucked the life out of the crowd because before this, the crowd was really excited. And then after the match ended, nobody cared. Lesnar F5 to ref, and that was it. John Cena then gets up after he's knocked out for a while and then says, you know what I'm saying? He takes a bow for the crowd, and that's it. And his next date is scheduled to be Crown Jewel in Australia in about 3 weeks or so. And the next date, I guess, is going to be him versus Lesnar maybe at that Crown Jewel show. Nobody cares. People are saying, oh, well, he'll get his win back at Crown Jewel. There's no storyline here. John Cena has no dates until Crown Jewel, so there's no story, no build, no nothing. Cena showing up at Crown Jewel to win a match that nobody cares about doesn't do anything. It's a waste of one of Cena's final moments, and everyone knows it. This is a failure. It is Triple H's fault, not The Rock, not TKO. If you didn't like the fact that the Triple H, by the way, is the one who turned Cena heel. If you watch WWE Unreal, The Rock wanted Cena to turn Cody to turn heel and be his champion, and then Cena would have to topple the heel champion that The Rock was, helping in Cody Rhodes. That was supposed to be the storyline. Triple H wanted to have Cena turn heel. They did that, and look how it turned out. The Rock hasn't been seen since March, guys. So in the 6-month span in that retirement tour that Cena has had, what has Triple H done that's inventive or creative or amazing about this final run?
All right, I just want to go over the ratings real quick. Shout out to Wrestling Republic. So here's the ratings for John Cena versus Brock Lesnar and Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. So based off of what I read, this is kind of for the John and Brock match, it's kind of like a 3.75. So that's kind of low. Versus with the Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin match, it's kind of like a 4.75. So I'll just say it like that. So obviously, Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin won. And I think the reason why John Cena versus Brock Lesnar match lost is because you had John Cena get botched like he was a jobber. So obviously that match stunk. And CJAX just explained it to you why it stunk. So we ain't even got to go in further detail, but that's the ratings for both matches. So, so John and Darby won against that match. So there you go. Let's move on.
Thank you. Let's move on to the next match, which we're not going to be talking about for long. It was a Raw match. The Brunsons, LeBron James duo, fought against the Usos. If you've watched Raw for the last month or two, you've already seen this match before. It's a brawl between all four of them. Tables are involved. Chairs are involved. The only thing to talk about here, because the Braun duo obviously wins, Jey Uso tapped out Gunther in 5 seconds at WrestleMania. Gunther's one of the most dominant people in this current era of WWE. Jey Uso beat him, okay, clean at WrestleMania. Jey Uso is now getting pinned because of a couple spears from a mid-Carter and Braun Breaker and a tsunami from an undercarder in Bronson Reed. Does that make sense to you? Okay, thank you. Does it make sense that one of the greatest tag teams in WWE history, even though they haven't teamed in over a year and a half or however, no, they actually teamed on Raw earlier this year, actually, I'm pretty sure. So that's not even an excuse. One of the greatest tag teams of all time is losing to 2 mid-Carters. Thank you. I'm going to let you sit now. I'm going to give you that silence. Just think about that, bro. And anyways, at the end of the match, LA Knight, the whole dynamic here is basically the same thing we've been seeing. Will LA Knight and Jey Uso coexist? Oh my gosh, yeah, yeet, yeah, yeet, yeah, yeet. No. How about that? No. This match was absolute and utter garbage, okay? It was complete and utter trash. This was infuriating. It was nonsense. They charge you $30 to give you a Raw match. We've seen this on Raw for the last month or two, and they're charging you $30 for it now. Do you think that's worth it? Absolutely not. Jey Uso unfortunately did look like he got injured, though. He cut his head open off of a, I think he accidentally hit himself with a chair. It ricocheted at his head, I think, and he cut his head open. So hopefully he's okay, man. I hope the best for Jey Uso and his family, obviously, okay? I think he should be fine, but I mean, he may need some stitches. He might have a concussion, so hopefully he heals through that, and that's the situation with that.
All right, so Wrestling Republic pretty much gave it a tie for both matches. I figured that because, I did see the highlights where, the Browns versus the Usos, and it looked pretty good. So, obviously, a tie makes a lot of sense, but at least with the Edge and Christian match, there was a storyline behind it versus with the Usos and the Browns. There really wasn't no story behind it. So, hey, it's a tie on their end, but on my end, I think story-wise, Edge and Christian's match won over the Usos versus the Browns match because of the story. So if you've been paying attention to the story of AEW with Edge and Christian and FTR, you will know why they had won over the Usos in the Browns match. But yeah, but a tie sounds about right in ring-wise, but story-wise, Edge and Christian won. So there you have that. But let's move on.
We then move on to getting these, they're saying to look at the WWE Superstars ringside. Tiffany Stratton is ringside with her championship. That's great. Why is she not wrestling on the show? Oh, wait. Oh, she wasn't healthy? Let me guess. She wasn't healthy, right? So she couldn't wrestle. Well, then maybe get another champion on the show or add another engaging story or something. Why are we getting 5 matches on a $30 show? Then we move on. Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky. I may be in the minority on this one, but I thought this was very boring until the final, 5 minutes or so. Stephanie Vaquer hit that really cool spiral tap moonsault looking thing she hit at the end of the match. That was pretty nice. Io Sky obviously did a good job for in some of the parts of this match, but overall, it started off the first 5 to 10 minutes with just a technical, grapple and pin counters and all that stuff, which I find that wrestling to be quite boring most of the time, but that's basically it. They do that, and then Stephanie Vaquer basically hits a spiral tap and pins Io Sky. The same Io Sky that was fighting and feuding with people like Bianca Belair, winning championships from Rhea Ripley, is now losing to someone like Stephanie Vaquer, who lost to Jacy Jayne on NXT clean.
No, she did not win clean, okay? Jacy Jayne had help, and that's the reason why she won. Get your facts right, bro. Respectfully.
I don't even remember if it was clean or not, but she still lost to Jacy Jayne, and now she's pinning Io Sky. All this is happening within the span of a few months of each other, by the way. It's none of this makes any sense, but I am going to say good for Stephanie Vaquer. But at the same time, if Io Sky could not get a world championship reign where she basically barely showed up on Raw, barely showed up on anything while she was world champion, I highly doubt that Stephanie Vaquer is going to get booked a good title reign. But she got to win the championship, obviously, so that's good for her. Obviously, the belt was vacated because of Naomi, being pregnant. So Stephanie Vaquer got the moment. She got to share it with her dad at ringside and, win her championship. I'm sure this is really a dream come true. She's been fighting all over the world, wrestling all over the world in order to get to this type of stage and have this type of moment. So this is awesome for her and for her family, I'm sure, and for her and her dad. So that's a great moment for her. But man, this match was boring, and it is definitely going to be overrated by many. But in all seriousness, I can't even remember half of the stuff that happened in this match. Pretty much all of it, I don't remember. It was mediocre at best.
Well, I disagree. I totally disagree because Stephanie versus Io Sky got a 5 out of 5, which is rightfully earned and rightfully so. They put on a great match, so I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But, hey, I didn't watch the match, but I will, though. and I did watch the highlights. It was good. It was great, and it deserved a 5 out of 5. Versus with Mercedes versus Riho, I think it got a 4.85 out of 5. So, I mean, wasn't that bad, but, again, BCB gave it a A plus, but, again, it wasn't really my favorite match, though. I mean, to be honest with you. But, however, Stephanie Valkyrie versus Io Sky beat Mercedes versus Riho, which is rightfully earned. So, great match. Happy for Stephanie, but I just hope that she gets some matches. But knowing Triple H, he's not going to do that. So, let's just hope she gets some. But if she don't get at least one or two, whatever. You know how it's going. You already know Triple H don't give two fucks about brown people. So, obviously, he's going to book him to oblivion. We just hope that he don't interfere in Jessie J versus Laura Vice, because we need Laura Vice to win that match, so that way we can get Laura Vice versus Maya May for the next PLE for NXT. So that's all I hope for, but there you have that. Let's continue.
In my opinion. Then we move on. We then get the mixed tag match with CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Rebecca Lynch. Okay, this match, if we're being honest here, is going to be overrated as well. There were a couple really cool spots, okay? Some of the banter and the overacting by them in the match, like all these people, basically AJ, Punk, Seth and Becky. The overacting here was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I will say that some of the... Look, man. AJ Lee, I noticed, had spent like over a decade since she's been in the ring. But some of the moves, like the punches and the slaps that she was throwing, were absolutely garbage. There's no other, like, they were garbage. I'm sorry, man. I just hate to be that guy, but it is what it is, okay? They looked awful. They looked botchy. There was one where she's doing these fake slaps, and it looked like she was literally swimming. You know what I'm saying? It looked like a windmill. I'm like, what are you doing at this point, man? But that was that, okay? And other than that, and some of the other sloppy and very choreographed moments that just didn't look clean at all throughout many parts in this match, there were certain sequences that were good, like when they both had each other, you know what I'm saying? Both respective couples. I think it was Punk and AJ had Seth and Becky in submission holds. You know, you had multiple different finishers and false finishes. They were using each other's finishers and all that stuff. And then obviously, you know what I'm saying, the taunting and stuff like that. I liked that they had taunting. Taunting doesn't happen that much anymore in matches, I feel like. And so I feel like WWE using that, I feel like is pretty cool. You know what I mean? So that was actually pretty nice to see that, I guess. And then obviously at the end of the match, AJ Lee goes in for the Black Widow on Becky Lynch and ends up getting Becky Lynch to tap out, setting up her probably going for the IC belt, and then CM Punk will go for the world title belt. There's a sequence on the outside where CM Punk is like, you know what I'm saying, fighting around, and then Becky Lynch throws AJ Lee into CM Punk as he's about to hit Rollins with a GTS on the announce table, and then they all just fall through it. AJ Lee, Punk, and Rollins all fall through the announce table, and that's it. That's literally like that. Those are literally the only memorable spots I can think of in this match. Nothing really was epic or awesome about this match. Like 10 years of build up for this. Are we really being that excited for this? The Rock's return at Mania 40 when he wrestled his first like in-ring match, I think it was in like 8 or 9 years, was much better than this tag match. And he's like in his 50s. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I have to say about this. This was overrated and it was kind of underwhelming, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, it wasn't a bad match. I mean, at least they got like I'll just make it up, 4.95, stars out of 5, for their match. And obviously the Fatal 4-Way got 4 out of 5. I mean, look, and let's be honest. I mean, the Fatal 4-Way match was all right, but Chris Stanlander winning was a 5-star to me. And I told y'all she was going to win that match. So I don't know why people thought Tony was going to retain. I guess they thought we was going to get Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter at Wrestle Dream. But however, we still might get it just without the title. So, but as for Chris Stanlander goes, bring in the new challengers, because I think we need to get this set up right away for the Death Riders, for Chris Stanlander to join, so that way we could see her take over the women's division with Wheeler by her corner, including Marina. And if Shania Baszler decide to come to AEW next year, we'll have another person. Next to Chris got a fraction of her own, even though she's part of the Death Riders. So, yeah, hopefully we get that story told. That way we can get it. That way we can get a story to develop, and hopefully we can get something in motion for All In for next year for Chris Stanlander in the main event. So there you have that. But I can see why they, give it like a 4.9 out of 5 for the mixed tag team match, it makes sense. But the Fatal 4-Way match was okay, but Chris Statlander winning was a 5 out of 5. That's a fact. So, but yeah, the mixed tag team match won this one. But, I still think that the Chris Statlander winning is a 5 out of 5, but that's me. So, sounds right to me. So, let's keep it moving.
Then we move on. We get to the main event. There's nothing to say here. This PLE obviously was garbage, but this main event is indicative of how bad this show is. I have never seen a crowd this dead or this down or this silent during a WWE championship match. This is a WWE championship match with an alleged, the top face in the company in Cody Rhodes. Obviously, he's not. Guys like Punk and Roman and probably even Rollins, obviously, well bigger. I'm saying? Guys like Cena and Brock, obviously, are just bigger, wrestlers than he is, and just bigger stars in general. But man, this match had no star power, it felt like, because nobody cared. And we knew that Drew, deep down, we knew that Drew was probably not going to win this match. There were rumors that he was going to because it was main eventing, but we all knew this wasn't going to happen. The Rock and Randy Orton didn't even show up, which was one of the heavy theories heading into this match. The crowd was dead. It was boring. You could barely hear them throughout the match. For some odd reason, Drew McIntyre tries to Claymore kick Cody through the announce table, and the ref stops him as if that's illegal. How is it legal for people to get thrown through announce tables for 30 years, but now when you try and drop kick someone through the announce table or Claymore kick them through it, it's a problem? Do you see how stupid this sounds? Triple H bends the rules that have been in place for decades for one meaningless championship match and then has nothing come out of it at all. Drew McIntyre hurts his ankle, allegedly in the storyline, and then Cody Rhodes just comes in, crossroads him in the ring, and pins him.
Well, obviously, Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher got a 5 out of 5, so that beats him to the punch. But however, I disagreed that Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre was a I think it's, a 4.95 out of 5. I don't agree with that. I think it should deserve a 3-star as well. 3.75 out of 5. Cody should have never retained. It should have been Drew McIntyre winning. But, hey, what you expect. So, but the good thing is Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher beat Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. I wouldn't say to the punch, but definitely to a pinch. So there you have that. But I just wanted to show you all the ratings real quick before we continue on with the video. So, but yeah, we'll talk about the results afterwards. But let's continue.
This is corny and bad booking. This is a $30 show, and that's how we're ending it? And it literally just ends with Cody pinning him, holding the title up, and it goes to Joe Tessitore for the post-show. That is how this show ended. Wrestlepalooza, the start of the ESPN era where things are supposed to be so grandiose and so epic and so awesome, and this is the product that we got. This show was garbage. There's no other way around it. This show is going to get a 0 out of 10. Yes, you heard that right. I may give it a 1 out of 10 if I'm being really generous. But this show gets a 0 or a 1 out of 10 because it was not good. This is not $30 plus a month level content. And if I was not YouTubing, and making videos like this for you guys and stuff like that, and because I enjoy doing it, I would not be buying these PLEs. I would just watch it on some random website or something like that. There's no way that people are actually going to be spending money for this. And they're going to see this immediately. I already saw fans saying, hey, I'm glad I didn't spend the money for this. You should be glad. It is a waste of money. This service, ESPN Premium for WWE PLEs, is a waste of your money. Do not give these people $30. Do not give this company $30. It is a waste of your money, and this was an absolute and utter disaster. This show sucked, and I don't want to ever hear anyone say anything about some Triple H or Papa H. Let Papa H get fired. That's the only thing I need to see after this. He should be fired immediately. This show was garbage. The rules get changed. The matches were boring and meaningless, and the crowd was lifeless because they knew that this show didn't make sense and was not good. It's not worth your money. It was a waste of time, and Wrestlepalooza was a complete and utter disaster. Thank you guys for watching. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out, and one love.
Well, I want you guys to look at the ratings right now. Look at this. We got a 9 out of 10, y'all. Versus with Wrestlepalooza, it gets a mother effing 5.70. Well, hey, listen, man. Looking at these ratings, bro, it's over. AEW is kicking WWE's ass. And even though the cable ratings don't prove that, the reputation of it proves it. And honestly, it's going to be very interesting what next year is going to look like for WWE, because if they really think they're going to continue with these shenanigans with TKO and Triple H around, man, they're not going to go very far. You know, Bobby Masu feels like they might end up like WCW, but the only way they'll end up like WCW is if the ratings get way below 1 million and the fans, start to not show up, And right now, the money's not drying up. But next year, if this continues, I do believe that it's going to dry up. And then at that point, you ain't got nothing to live for at that point. So it's going to be very interesting what next year is going to look like for WWE. It's going to be very interesting because I've been telling people over and over again that AEW is going to have a comeback next year. And it seems like it's starting, because the fact that they knocked down Wrestlepaloser and you looking at the ratings like, damn. But y'all knew that AEW was gonna pull through with the pay-per-views. I mean, come on now, you should have known that. But it is good to see that people are starting to acknowledge AEW, and hopefully more and more will too. And hopefully we can encourage bloggers to watch AEW, NXT, TNA, so that way they can see that the bookings over there is phenomenal. But AEW is number one. TNA is kind of like third, but NXT is like second. So hopefully more people will support those three promotions, even though NXT is kind of connected with WWE. Still, show some love. So I encourage everybody to check out those three promotions, even though NXT is part of WWE. Still support it. But I'm going to just tell y'all right now, if you think WWE is going to go on any further with this, you're wrong. But I do know the crowd is definitely going to predetermine if this is going to change or not. But I don't know, because like I said, I don't know what happened with WCW. Like I just wonder when they had their last show, was the crowd there? Was the capacity full? I mean, that was the question, because the only way you can shut down the business is if you lose deals, you lose fans, and the money start drying up to the point you can't pay the employees no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna take a minute for everyone to back off. It's gonna take a while, but that don't mean that the internet is not gonna continue to bash Triple H for all the stuff that he's been doing to everyone's favorite superstar, especially AJ Styles, LA Knight, Montez Ford, Carmelo Hayes, and Roxanne Perez. But Raquel good, I think Raquel gonna get her moment when Liv comes back. But if she can get her moment before she comes back, that would be great. But like I said, with the bookings going now, don't get your hopes up on anything, especially Stephanie Fakir winning the belt. So all I can tell y'all is that check out other promotions and keep a close eye out and stay away from ESPN. Okay. Otherwise, you can watch it for free somewhere else. All right. But, yeah, man. Whew. Thank God for AEW. But y'all get in the comment box and let me know what y'all think about this, what y'all think about Wrestlepaloser. Do y'all agree with the ratings from Wrestling Republic, or do you guys think otherwise? I'll say, I will say, let's see. If I can look back at the ratings, it sounds to me like 2 matches from AEW and 2 matches from Wrestlepaloser has scored 1, and 1 was a tie. So, damn. So basically, it's a tie from Wrestling Republic. But if you ask me, based off of the ratings that you guys just saw, All Out won because they went all out. So get in the comment box. Let me know what y'all think about the ratings. Do you think it's over for WWE? Do you think that and you know, by the time we get to Saudi Arabia, that they're gonna lose more and more fans, and to the point where they're gonna have to cancel some events. Do you guys really think that people are gonna betray WWE and go with AEW or TNA or NXT or New Japan? Y'all comment down below. Let me know. Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And I'll catch y'all in the next video, all right? Because I got 2 more videos I need to gonna react to from BCB and Bobby Masu. So stay tuned for those because I will do a double video first thing tomorrow. All right? I'm out.